When I was 23, I got pregnant accidentally. I say accidentally because I was on birth control at the time. I just happened to be one of the 1% of the population that still gets pregnant. Anyway, I was not happy about it. I never wanted to have a baby. My mom had my half-sister when I was 12, so I got to see and experience firsthand what it was like to raise a baby, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. I said for years, and believed it, that I would never, ever have kids. But then I got pregnant, and I had a kid. Why didn't I get an abortion? I was 23, I had a good job, I had what I thought at the time was a good boyfriend who would be supportive of me, and had no reason I could think of at the particular time that I couldn't take care of a child. For some reason, even though I've always been pro-choice and support people who choose to have abortions, I couldn't do it. I knew, at the time, it wasn't the right choice for me, so I chose to have my child, and I'm ashamed to say that there have been moments of regret over that choice. Now, 13 years later, I can't explain to you what I was really feeling inside when I made the choice to have my child despite all my reservations, but I knew there were only two options for me, abort or birth. Why didn't I just choose adoption? A friend of mine wrote an article last week that was inspired by the abortion bans in America, and one of her arguments against having an abortion was that there are so many families who are waiting desperately to adopt a child. When I got pregnant, I knew that for me, putting my baby up for adoption was out of the question. You see, I felt the devastation of being abandoned by one parent when my father walked out, and my sad, child brain could never understand it. I know what it feels like to have a parent not want you. I would never want that for my child, even knowing they were going to a loving home. I know that child I gave up would always wonder about me, wonder why I abandoned her, why I didn't want her. Yes, they would probably have a wonderful life with adopted parents. But I would have a miserable life wondering where my child was and what could have been, because post-adoption depression is a real thing. Selfish? Of course it is. So is abortion. The good thing is, we are all mostly free to make the choice we want with our bodies, but that freedom is getting more tenuous for a lot of people in the US, and my heart goes out to all the mothers out there who are desperate to be able to make the choice they want. No one should have to give birth if they don't want to. For me, it all comes down to this when it comes to my thoughts on abortion. There are countless reasons why people choose abortion over having a child. They can't afford it, they already have children, they don't want a child. To me, the reasons don't matter. Abortion may be a selfish choice, but the selfless choice of adoption isn't always so selfless. No matter what choice you make, you will have to live with the consequences and emotional repercussions of your decision for the rest of your life. A woman's body is her own, including, in my opinion, what grows inside of it. Imagine a society where pregnant women are forced to have unwanted children because they have no access to abortion. We are already there. Now, imagine a society where pregnant women are actually forced to give birth or face criminal prosecution. We are getting there. We are heading in that direction. We cannot turn back the clock on civil rights. We have to be able to do what's best for ourselves and our families. Really, we just have to mind our own business.